Hello, 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 hello. How to mind your own business. This may sound like a no-brainer to some of you, but for some people, it is something that is very hard to do. We all know someone who is always involved in other people's business, someone who is always in the middle of discussions. Lyonse kulubulula. That kind of person is like that because they have nothing better to do, because they are not busy, they are always in somebody else's business. You know, I am always amazed when I go back to Africa how of my very hardworking and successful friends have been branded Satanists. It's quite a curious thing for me that somebody who is so hardworking and is doing the utmost best to be the best that they can be called a Satanist has always been mind-boggling for me. So I decided to dig deeper what was actually going on, and I realized that these people who are calling the successful people Satanists, there was only one reason behind it: because they are not busy themselves. That is why I decided to make this video to teach you how to become successful also, so that you will be too busy to even notice that somebody else is actually successful, or what anybody else is doing for that matter. You're just going to be too busy. And actually, this is not just for those people who are Miss Busybodies, but it is also for those successful people. It's going to be very useful to you. I'm going to teach you the 5G of goals that all successful people implement. Now, these goals were not made by me. I'm already making a disclaimer. These are goals that I have learned from an author called Ryan Snow, and he has put down 5 G's that are required for one to be successful, and I will get right into it. So get a pen and a paper right after you have subscribed to this channel, because we need support for this baby channel. So please do subscribe. Press the subscribe button so that you can be receiving my videos. Every time I make one, you will be notified that I've made. The first G, let's get down to it. The first G is you need a grand vision. Now, this is where dreaming comes in. You need to dream, and when you dream, you need to dream big. Your dream should even seem unrealistic to you. That's how big you should dream. The grand vision is where you see yourself 10 years from now. Most people, the problem is that most people just live for today. They just live in the now. They spend everything that they make. They live for their mouth and their belly. Everything that they make, they spend it, and God will provide tomorrow. Yes, God will provide, but you have work to do too. So your grand vision can either be personal or your personal or professional growth, and there has to be clarity in that grand vision. It has to be clear. The clearer it is, the bigger chance you have that it will be successful. It obviously has to have something to do with something that is very important in your life or business. Because if we're looking for a grand vision that is just abstract out there and it's not important to you, it will not provide the energy, the enthusiasm, the passion, and the drive that you need to make sure that this outcome becomes a real thing. So it has to be something that is important to you. So clarity is a must. The clearer the vision, the greater the chance of success. Not vague things like I want to be a millionaire in 10 years, or I want to be a CEO, or I want to be a manager. No, not something like that. It has to be very clear where you see yourself 10 years from now. And the second G is goals. You need to have goals. Now, goals are a shorter term of a vision. These are things that you need to do the next 3 months, 6 months to 1 year. These are things that you need to achieve in a shorter term. And goals are not easy to do. I tell you, goals are not easy. It sounds like it's easy, but it's not easy. We live in a society that everybody wants things to have been done like yesterday. So for goals to be successful, you need patience, discipline, and a mind that has set priorities. You need to have set priorities to implement your goals. And remember this. It's important that you understand, make sure that your goals are not too many. Because when you have too many priorities, nothing is a priority. So remember, don't make your goals too many. And the third G is the game plan. Now, this is very important. The game plan is what you do today, what you need to do every day. That is the game plan. And anything or anyone that deviates you from your game plan, you need to cut them off out of your life for a while until you have achieved your vision. Because there are certain people, certain things that trigger us to be lazy and just takes us off course. So these things need to be taken off or put on the shelf or the drawer for the time being. And 3 things are required. Number 1, you need to have set priorities. Number 2, you need to have activities that are measurable. Not just abstract activities. For example, if your goal is to lose weight, you cannot write down, for example, on Monday, I'm going to run. On Tuesday, I'm going to walk. You need to write something like, on Monday, I will run 2 kilometers. On Tuesday, I will power walk for 1 hour. Stick to them, and not doing them or failure is not even an option. Yeah, you need to have a daily game plan that you stick to. Otherwise, you will not reach your goal, and your goal is what aligns you to your grand vision. Yeah, and what's going to happen is you just stay in the same place where you were, continuing talking about other people's business. That's what we don't want. And number 3 is you have to have faith. Number 3 is faith. Yeah, you have to have faith that your plan will work. Otherwise, you cannot commit to this plan. If, for example, in 10 years, you see yourself very high up on the corporate ladder, you need to sit at home every day and study whatever MBA you've applied for. You cannot go out partying with your friends. You have to make sacrifices. You need to go for those workshops. You need to have a game plan. If, for example, you want a long and happy marriage, sacrifices have to be made too. You cannot live like your single friends anymore and expect your marriage to be long and successful. There have to be sacrifices. If in 10 years' time, for example, what you see in your mind is that all your children have graduated from university, your game plan for today is to help them every day with their homework. You have to be very involved in their schoolwork every day. Otherwise, it's just a dream. It's just an idea, An idea without a plan is just an idea, So you must have a game plan that aligns with your grand vision. The 4th G is guidance. Who is mentoring you? You need guidance. You need accountability. Accountability is something you should look for in a mentor or a coach. Someone who reminds you once in a while why you began doing what you are doing and what you are doing it for. Guidance also comes through books, music, what we are listening to, movies. So you have to make sure that what you are listening to, what you are watching, what you are reading aligns with your grand vision. Guidance. Number 5, the last but not the least, you can do all the planning and all the goal setting in the world as you wish. But without action, nothing is going to happen. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. Many people have been talking about this book they're going to write for a long time. They never get to the action part. Many people even decide to do something, even like to make a video, but they won't do it because their hair is not right, their nails are not right. They are busy with all the other preliminaries. They forget, they can't even get into the action. Just get into it, and actually everything is scary. Even making this video for me was scary, but get it done. And why do I tell you all these things? Yeah, my grandmother, who is my biggest role model, she always used to tell me that mwikala patalala, mwine apatala like. And what does that mean? It means that the one who lives in peace created her own peace by her lifestyle. So your lifestyle will create that peace that you crave. And when you have peace in your heart, you do not go around minding other people's business. You know, if you hop from house to house, from friendship to friendship, you are called Miss Busybody. You have nothing better to do than minding other people's business. Because you are not busy enough, you are in everyone's business. You know, I watched my grandmother. My mother used to send us to the village when we were small. Every holiday we would go to my grandmother's village, and I watched my grandmother. She died recently. She was my role model. You know, my grandmother did 2 things. She went to the fields. When she was finished with the fields, we came back home. She never left her village. She never went to other people's villages. She was never involved in other people's things. When she finished at the fields, she came home. She was chopping wood, she was collecting water, she was feeding us. She was very busy. She was telling us stories. We used to hear in other villages people talking, they were fighting, they were discussing, but it never happened to my grandmother. And I learned her secret because she was minding her own business. And I learned that hard work produces fruit. Hard work produces fruit, and let me tell you something. Minding your own business is scriptural. And I'm going to read you the scripture in 1 Thessalonians 4:10-12. It says, "And in fact, if you do love all God's family throughout Macedonia, yet we urge you, brothers and sisters, do so more and more, and to make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. You should mind your own business and work with your hands, just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, and so that you will not be dependent on anybody. You will not be going around asking people to lend you money, because when you mind your own business, you have time to do other things. When you don't mind your own business, you are wasting time. You are constantly wasting time. Successful people always do what needs to be done, even when they do not feel like it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Press the subscribe button, and every time I shoot out And it's every Wednesday. Every Wednesday I make a video. And please don't forget to comment. I always like to interact. I always reply when you comment. God bless you. Bye-bye.